Welcome to Compassion Speaks. I'm your host, Ezra Borrego, and today on our show we have Mark Hopkins and Jim Weiland from Sunrise Adaptive Ski Sports. Welcome, you guys.
Thanks for having us.
I'm glad you guys came. I met you guys just recently, and I just thought, man, this is going to be a good show. They're going to help people understand what's going on up there at Sunrise and what you guys do to help out with people that may not think they can ski or even have the opportunity to ski. So what exactly is the adaptive ski program that you guys have? What is that? How do you do it?
Well, basically we have adaptive equipment, or several types of equipment specially designed and engineered for folks with different types of disabilities, whether it be physical or cognitive or visual, impaired. And instructors who are certified by Professional Ski Instructors of America at different levels to help assist on those lessons.
Okay. Yeah. So who benefits from the adaptive skiing? Who are the ones that get to have the opportunity? Can it be just anybody, or does it you have to qualify to be able to ride one of these things in a certain body or mind, just like you mentioned?
Pretty much anybody with a disability.
Okay.
Varying degrees, mild cognitive, intellectual disabilities, all the way up to quadriplegics.
Okay. So how do they find out about your program and to know basically how to get in touch with you guys to be able to do these things?
Well, they can first visit our website from the Sunrise Park Resorts. It's actually on sunriseskipark.com, and there's a page there for adaptive page and a bit of information and photos of different types of equipment, and then the phone numbers and extensions to call the ski school and schedule up a lesson or talk to someone like Mark more about what types of lessons are available and what types of qualifications they might think about or experiences that we can help them with.
Okay, so you mentioned website and phone number. You can read a phone number off, or you got one memorized that you can share?
Sure, I have one memorized right here. Yeah, it's 855-735-SNOW. Extension 2306.
Okay.
And we're so busy up there, you likely will get an answering machine, but just leave a message and a callback number and just a little bit about what you're looking for, and that'll all be passed on by our administrator to Mark, and then he can call and help do an assessment for what type of experience might work best for you, or the experience you're looking for.
Okay. Yeah. So what is some of this equipment? What type of equipment is this? What does it look like?
Goodness, we have all kinds of equipment, from if it's a stand-up skier, two-tracker we call them. We have equipment to hold the skis together if their skis tend to go apart. We have equipment to push your skis apart if they tend to go together.
Okay.
I can hook tethers to them to control their speed. We have 3-track, which would be a person on one ski.
Okay.
And 2 outriggers.
Okay.
We have 4-track for somebody with balance issues.
Okay.
They would have 2 skis and either 2 outriggers, or we actually have a slider, which looks like a walker that a person would be in, and they can lean on and support themselves that way. If they're paraplegic, or even in some cases the quadriplegic, we have bi-ski.
So like that's what this
that
is
a
right
bi-ski.
Okay.
So we can sit them in, and if they have the ability for upper body mobility, we can manipulate the ski through their body movements that way. We also have a mono ski, which would be like that, but with one ski a little taller, for very athletic people that have usually a little lower end of paralysis.
Okay. So what is this? And you have another one right next to you. What is this one called? And who can qualify to use this type right here? This R2, it's like the R2 model.
Well, this is a ski bike, and this is an adaptive ski bike, and its classification is called a ski bob, and originated in Europe as racing equipment.
Okay.
It's been adapted, since it works so well in all areas of ski biking, and it's been adapted, as you can see, with a handlebar assembly on the back for assistance by an instructor. Folks that would be, maybe would enjoy something like this would be someone with a knee replacement, or maybe an amputee, or someone that just maybe has some back injuries and they need a low impact piece of equipment that they're mostly in control of.
Okay.
So something that's to be a bit less restrictive than a bi-ski.
Okay. So when a person goes out there, what is a ski lesson like? What does it entail when a person gets a lesson?
Well, they come to us. I like to do a preliminary assessment over the phone to see what I'm dealing with. Will I need a second instructor? Is there what type of special equipment will I need? They come to us. We do an informal or formal introduction. Then I really assess their disability, and I figure out their ability.
Okay.
So we adapt a technique and/or equipment specifically for their ability.
Right.
The only real disability is a bad attitude.
I agree.
And then we set their goals. What do they want out of it? Is it going to be the only time they do this? And we figure out a plan, a lesson plan, how we're going to have fun, and we get on the hill and implement that plan.
Well, that's pretty cool. So do you find that a lot of people doing this for the first time are really, really afraid? They're just terrified?
I do.
Find that?
A lot of folks are just really apprehensive. They have been encouraged by maybe family members or friends who would like to go skiing with them and share their love for the snow sports. And it's the support of those folks that really helps to get a lot of people out onto the snow. But boy, once they get going, and especially if it's something they really always wanted to do and thought they couldn't do, it just changes their life.
I bet it does. Especially when they have somebody that knows what they're doing and gives them confidence right there next to them. So is there always somebody right there until you think that they're doing well and then you can let them go solo? Is that how it works?
For me, it's always. We're with them, and sometimes two instructors, depending on what level of disability or injury we're dealing with. Our goal, my goal, is to create an independent skier.
Okay.
I want to see a skier. I want to see somebody skiing with their family. I want to see somebody skiing with their friends, completely independent, if possible.
Yeah.
Some cases, their level of disability may be too high, and they may always need to be with a trained instructor.
And that's basically the definition of adaptive equipment, is equipment that's designed to, as possibly, to eliminate their disability on the snow, whether it's a ski bike or it's a mono ski, and we're looking for independence on the snow for them.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. So how long does it take to have a ski lesson, usually, average?
Well, we have basically a half-day lesson, which may be 3 hours from 9 till noon, and then we take an hour break for everybody to catch their breath again and enjoy and talk about the morning's experience. And then we have full day, which would be the 3 hour in the morning, the break, and then 3 hour in the afternoon. And we'll like to finish up my lessons with a visit back to the very beginning hill where they started, to see how much they have really advanced during the day, and that really lights them up.
I bet.
And they realize that.
That is pretty cool. It gives them probably a lot more confidence, not only in out there skiing, but probably other aspects in their life. Have you ever had anybody come back to you and say, man, this is probably one of the greatest things that really opened up some of my fears or thresholds in my life that I was afraid to do in other areas? Now I can do them because of this. Have you ever had anybody come back to you and share those things with you?
Often, and that's what we're looking for. That's the reward for us, is having that, or going out with a group and then stopping at lunch or so, and then I might get off of my bike and grab my crutches, and the rest of the family would go, "No way, you're not crazy. Were you like that one leg when we were out there on the snow?" I go, "Yes, that's what adaptive equipment can do for you. It can just eliminate all those issues for you," and they just go, "Wow."
That's pretty cool.
So,
I was watching a video when you guys did some presentations when I saw what adaptive skiing is all about. There was somebody that was blind that was skiing, and at first they were just kind of, you guys were just going a little bit, and after a while they just started going on their own. So did you get any expression or any kind of emotion from that person? Were you guys there when that took place, or is that a video that took place somewhere else?
Probably, I've had several blind or visually impaired students. I don't know if it was particularly that one, but their lack of sight, their other senses are highly acute. And I've even had students where I can just tap my ski poles together and they can follow. They can hear the instruction, and they do quite well. You put their body in an athletic stance, and then you tell them, "Hey, I need to see your athletic stance," and they do it better than, people that are not visually impaired.
I think because they can listen better. Because they're listening, they have to really be keen in their listening to make up for their visually impaired stuff.
Yeah, it's less distraction also.
Right. They have to pay attention a little bit more.
I've actually been on some visually impaired lessons or clinics at the Hartford Ski Spectacular in Colorado, and watch folks that are experienced but visually impaired just skiing on their own. I mean, they're just absolutely skiing on their own with maybe their chaperone 20 feet behind them and just coaching them just slightly. You're 10 degrees to that, let's go, we're going to make a left. And they're just skiing just wonderfully, just having a great old time. You wouldn't know, if you saw them go by, you wouldn't even think that they were having a visual impairment.
Right. That is incredible. We think about as us, we take so much into our sight as we're going through things, and we don't use all our other senses as much, because that is what we focus on most, is what we see. And so when we see somebody like that and experience that, we're thinking, how is that possible? Because we don't appreciate our other senses as much. Probably so, huh?
Absolutely. And in my training, I had to ski with goggles on, duct tape over them. And it actually took away my equilibrium. I couldn't tell how fast I was going, or even if I was going, I fell down thinking I was stopped. And
wow.
So
well, we're going to talk about a few other things. We're going to take a little break, and we'll be back just in a few moments, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Compassion Speaks. Today on our show we have Mark Hopkins and Jim Weiland with Sunrise Adaptive Ski Sports. So we've talked about a few things already today on our show, that kind of what happens up there with the adaptive skiing and what type of machines you have. So how do you get set up with a lesson? How do I go to you guys and get set up? So how does that work? We talked a little bit about that too, but get a little bit more detail on how that happens. I want to call you up and
so you would call up the resort and connect with the ski school at extension 2306.
Okay.
And you'd talk to our administrator or leave a message for them. And then it used to be, it would be a week-long process to schedule an adaptive lesson at Sunrise, from all the different steps and that we used to go through. But now you can almost make a reservation or call up and then come in the next day.
Wow.
More on your schedule than someone else's schedule. And that's kind of is our goal, is to actually accommodate the folks themselves and put the whole thing on their schedule. And then they would contact Mark. Mark would get right back to you and hit you on the horn and say, what are you looking to do? Here's what we have available, so forth, and what's your schedule? And basically, during the week is the best time for an adaptive experience just because of the less traffic on the slopes and trails, and there's generally enough spare instructors to assist during the week. So
Okay.
it's much better than it used to be years ago.
So awesome. So you guys getting more better in what you do, maybe a little bit more coaches or people as instructors. Is that why you can be able to do it pretty much any time now instead of waiting for a week in advance and setting it up? Is that the reason why?
Well, the main reason it's gotten so much better as far as scheduling is that we have more experienced folks helping to schedule.
Okay.
And we understand the importance of doing things in a timely manner now, where the adaptive programs have traditionally been kind of just a smaller program off the side, and we'll help you out when we get a chance.
Okay.
So that's not the way we view it at all anymore. It's you're the important person
Right.
at this event,
And it's just
so we want to accommodate you.
And it's just as important as anybody else out there. It's not like a second thing. We also got this kind of thing now. It's something up front, because when I went up there to go have some food with a friend up in the lodge, have a native taco, I saw all those bikes lined up out there. So those are just out and available. So when a person comes to want to do this, what kind of a personal equipment would you advise them to bring along with them? Do they need goggles? You guys provide goggles? Just tell me some of the things that they need that will help them be more comfortable doing the adaptive skiing.
Okay, some standard safety equipment that we do require on all of our ski lessons are helmets, appropriate shoes or boots, snow boots perhaps, or snowboard boots. But those things are all provided by us as part of the lesson.
Okay.
So you don't need to you don't need to own a helmet or have really snow boots, and we'll set you up just right there on the spot. Goggles we don't provide because of the possibility that we might transfer some sort of eye issues. So sunglasses are a minimum usually, and goggles are even better.
Okay.
And gloves. Don't forget your gloves.
Get pretty miserable after a while if you don't have any gloves. Yeah. So who else can be there with that person that is taking the lesson, that could be close to that person? Who can be there along with them?
The family, friends, whomever. I kind of like it unless there's an issue of security, like with a child. Sometimes if mom's there, they want to go to mom versus focus on the lesson.
Right.
But if not, I really enjoy for the family to see the progress that this skier is making. And it's really fun for me, for the family to see that.
Oh, I bet. I bet as an instructor, how that you're doing your job. You're seeing that they are eventually going to go out and be independent out on the ski slopes and not really have to be tethered or have to have somebody near them. That's just giving them a lot more courage, and they feel like they're like everybody else out there on the slope, just having a good old time.
One big benefit of inviting the friends and family and encouraging them to participate when appropriate is that we're also training the friends and family on how to operate the equipment and assist their buddy, and so it helps the process. So pretty soon they don't need the ski school supervision at all. Everyone else is all trained up and ready to go, and they can just pull the equipment out of the car, buy a lift pass, put their helmet, don't forget your gloves, and then they can all go up and just head straight for the chairlifts. And when we see that, we're going, wow.
That's so cool. So when you get family and friends out there, they're going to say, okay, I want to do this also, and I do too. I want to do this. I want to try this out. So a person that is with that person that is with adaptive skiing equipment that will qualify for that, how does another person get to go out and do the same kind of stuff? And what kind of program do you have for that?
Another person as in?
Like me.
Like you.
Yeah, let's say I had a person that went up there and he has a leg missing, or he has back problems and stuff. I want to go up there and be with him and say, hey, I want to do this too. How can I qualify? What can I do, and how do I do a lesson that may, I just want to try this out, and then go from there.
And you're just a fully able-bodied person that's coming up to, boy, those are the kind of people we look for. Aren't they, Mark?
Yeah. You're talking about on a ski bike?
Yeah, ski bike?
Yeah. Go ahead. Jim.
Oh yeah, well, ski bikes are for everyone. You don't have to have a disability or a special need, type of person for that. We've just opened the program up this is the second season for non-adaptive folks to use ski bikes at Sunrise. And of course, it's been part of our adaptive programs for, this is the 9th season.
Wow. So
everyone's interested in ski bikes. It seems like. So you can just come up and walk into the Crown Dancer Cafe and look around at the equipment, talk to Mark and I, or one of our skilled trained instructors or assistants, and we'll walk you around, and you can jump up and down on all the equipment you want until you find something you like. And then we'll also have demos on every Saturday from 9 a.m. till 12 o'clock. You can come up and try out a ski bike with an instructor on our bunny hill for free.
Wow.
And we'll put a helmet on you and boots if you don't have them, and we'll put you on the surface lift. You don't have to deal with chair lifts or all this, scary, spooky stuff. And you can go right up on the hill and get about a 20 or 30 minute lesson by an instructor for free.
That's I'm so there. That sounds like it would be an opportunity for a lot of people to try it out. Because somebody may say, okay, I want to do this, but if it's going to cost me a lot of money, I don't know if I'm going to like it or not. So if they get a little demo and say, hey, for a half hour, man, I like this. I'm going to come back and do more of this. So that's a great opportunity for people like that just aren't sure about it. And maybe they don't have the finances quite yet. So that'll give them an opportunity to save up some money and go and do it. Where you just mentioned the Crown Dancer Cafe, is that where your location is in that cafe area?
Yes. If you're in the parking lot, you pull up to the main parking lot at Sunrise Base, where the main lodge is. If you just look to the right, at the end of the head of the parking lot, to the right, you'll see a huge sign on a little cottage building, a little house, and it's Crown Dancer Cafe.
Okay.
And adaptive parking is right up in the front row.
Wow.
And there are attendants that will help you park your car and so forth. Or if you really need, if you're in a wheelchair type of access, there's behind the main rental shop, which is on the left side of the facility as you're looking forward in the parking lot. There'll be a building there with rental signs for skis, boards, and so forth. And back behind there is a nice level spot that you can park and offload your adaptive wheelchair equipment, however whatever your mobile efforts are. And then you're at base level already. No steps, no stairs, nothing, straight across the base to our Crown Dancer Cafe.
Wow.
Well, you're likely going to get a cup of coffee too.
Warm you up before you head out, or when you get back and warm yourself back up again.
All of that. And we've got assistants there that can help get you across the base. Also have a nice dolly that we can roll wheelchairs right up onto. They're fat wheel dollies if the snow is soft, and just we'll assist you. That's what we're there for. We're assistants.
That sounds pretty comforting to a lot of people that aren't sure if they want to do this or not. I think this is going to open up a lot of eyes to people that feel that they have an opportunity like their friends that love skiing and say, well, I don't know if I can because of certain reasons. And I think their mind's more open, and I think they can feel that they'll probably be able to do it because of the assistance and the type of equipment you guys have. Mark, can I ask you a question? How long have you been doing this?
10 years.
10 years. And what made you decide to go ahead and go into this genre of skiing?
I have a son with cerebral palsy, so it's me giving back to a community that has helped me.
Okay. So it's very rewarding for you, for your son,
Absolutely.
and seeing people succeed and getting independent and just going out and doing it.
Absolutely.
And Jim, I see that you have a partial leg missing. What equipment do you like most that adapts for you with your ability, or the things that you have a little bit more harder time on regular skis? Which one do you like the best out of all the pieces of equipment?
When I first became interested in snow sports and skiing or boarding or so forth, The only option for me really was a single ski and crutches with small ski outriggers on them. And then I became familiar with or discovered ski biking. And since in the past I used to race motorcycles, I gravitated directly toward that, and it was far less restrictive and less impacting for my knees and hip and joints and so forth, that it was the natural choice. But Sunrise did not have a ski bike program in the 9 years ago. And I went to the ski school and said, I'd like to learn how to ride a ski bike. They said, well, we don't have a ski bike program. I said, well, how about if I buy 2 ski bikes, one for me and one for your ski school, and then we start a program. And they went, okay, we could do that. And that's how flexible and how accommodating the resort is, and especially the White Mountain Apache tribe. They're just really compassionate. And so it's caught on, and so it's my equipment of choice.
Okay, wonderful. You know, it's been good having you guys here, and I want to have you guys back again in the future to see how it's continued to grow and how many people have been benefit from this. Maybe get some more video with some people and maybe even some testimonials on what's happened to some people, if we can do that later on in the season.
Great.
Maybe start in the fall or when your season starts ramping up again.
That'd be great.
It was good having you two here. Thank you for joining us today, and make sure to get out and serve in your community. Tune in next month and watch Compassion Speaks.